Oh, hello.
Hey kittens, what's going on? How y'all doing?
How are you? I like that cap. Does that
Oh,
say butch or bitch?
bitch, I am the Butch Queen, bitch. What are you talking about, bitch?
I
Hello?
just asked a question, honey. Don't get defensive with me because you're late.
No, actually, I am. But do you want to tell them why?
I don't know.
Oh, it's not the wrong link that you sent. Not that one. Is that the reason? Is that what we're saying?
Girl, the show starts at 8 o'clock. You logged on after 8 o'clock. And so therefore,
No.
I don't know what
I logged on to the link that you sent me that was last week's show that said the show had ended, and I even texted you and called you to say, hey, it's not here.
I don't know what
You don't know what? Okay.
about.
Okay. All right.
This
No problem.
feels like an attempt to slander my good name. That's what it
Listen,
feels like.
it's not about slandering your good name, bitch. But what I'm saying is, bitch, I own when I'm late, bitch. And yeah, I can own that. But
But for real, if you look at
today,
those links in the second link I sent you, it's literally the same link. So I don't know.
it's not. It's not. It literally is a whole different. The link that you sent last week was one that had it ended in 4. This one has like 8 QXB or at the end of it or whatever.
Exactly. And the one I sent on June 7th at 7:24 ended in 8 QXB.
No, it did not. That's not the link that I went into. I'm telling you.
I don't know what is wrong with your computer, but I am looking at the letters in the invite. But you're here now, bitch. Okay.
Bitch, let's not. We listen.
I mean, just admit that you're wrong, and then we can move on.
No, bitch, I'm not going to admit that I'm wrong because bitch, you sent me the wrong link. That's not what we're doing.
No, this is what we're doing. Hold on. No, it's all good.
But you
are wrong, though. But it's fine.
No, I am not. That's not what we're ending this on. No, bitch, no. But what we are going to do is we're going to agree to disagree on this.
We're going to agree that your vision is off because
is that the story we're going to tell everybody, that my vision is off? Bitch, we already know I wear glasses. So with like, I mean, you do too, but like, what the hell? Like, my vision's off. That's what we're going to do. Okay. All right.
Because listen, honey, if I got to share a screenshot, then I could share a screenshot. So
I mean, I can too. I'm just trying. I'm opening.
No. I want to share the screenshot. So I want the viewer. Hold on, let me make sure the kids can see it. So I don't, because they're gonna try to say they're gonna call Foxy a loose cannon. Well, I might be loose, but I ain't no motherfucking cannon. So the link that I sent at 7:44 is UFYAQ N8QXB. The link that I sent 4 minutes ago is UFYAQ N8QXB. So it is the exact same link.
The link that you sent was not
on this link.
Originally,
you clicked on this link from 7 days ago.
No, because I actually looked at the email again. It said today at 7:24 because I said that to you in our conversation. I said
it's that the same link, darling. I don't know what your problem is. I just feel like
listen. I'm not going through this with you, honey.
Listen. I'm not gonna keep going back and forth with you, girls. I've already had a week. I have had a week.
Bitch,
I'm not gonna go back. I am not gonna go back and forth with you girls. You know, the girls just cannot admit when they're wrong. They cannot.
No, bitch, I can admit when I'm wrong, and I said that I can admit when I'm wrong and when I'm late.
Listen, if the girls could just admit when they screwed up,
okay. It's all right though.
It's all right, dear. Listen, listen. Just admit. I mean, you know, you are days away from your 52nd birthday, and just admit that you know the old age is setting in. You know, your brain don't function right.
We talk about that every week, bitch. What are we talking about? I done said that all the time, bitch. I had heart monitors. I got a cardiologist. I got a colonoscopy, endoscopy.
Listen,
bitch, I'm gonna have to do a heart monitor and everything else, bitch. What the hell, bitch? We know I'm getting old, bitch.
Listen, girl, I'm gonna have to do you like I'm doing some of my brothers. I listen on my phone. I got a folder that says foolishness and receipts in case the girls get to trying it. Then I got a folder of receipt. It's all good. I don't know. I honestly don't know what happened because I believe you. But I was like, what is this different link? But whatever. You're here now.
I mean,
you were just barely on time. You were just. If we go on the air at 8, you were 7:59 and 58.763 seconds.
Okay, well, in any event, what I also will add into this is the fact that
is everything okay?
Yeah, no, I had a visitor, and I had a visitor from this marketing company, and this.
So that's what you meant. I was like, who is who?
Yes, I had a visitor from this marketing company, and I was like, hey, you have until this time because I have something that I need to do. But then it got very, very personal, as far not personal, but like any information that they asked me for is information they can find, but it still was kind of like, oh. So I kind of felt a little creepy about that, but I was like, all right, listen, this is where we are. Like, But anyway, handled that because I felt like it's a larger duty.
No, yeah, I appreciate that. You know, I just like to give you guff. What else would we do if we don't give each other guff?
Child, I ain't worried about that shit. Like, child.
You saying? Basically, he's saying, girl, I don't pay attention to him no way. So,
girl, listen, that's what we do, bitch. Listen, we will get on the phone. Listen, now, bitch, I'll stand there and fight with you back to back. Now, bitch, I'm gonna go ahead and fight with you back to back, bitch. You take the wing in the back, I'll take the one on this side, bitch. But when we go at it, bitch, we're gonna go at it. It's all right. But we cool.
Oh, we are going to go back and forth, but nobody is going to talk about you.
Oh, you know, that's not going to happen. And I so again, that's what
one of these days, I just feel like I don't know when it's going to be, but one of these days we are going to be out somewhere, and I'm gonna look at you, you're gonna look at me, and we're gonna be like, well, here we go. It's like, here we go. Here the fuck we go. Here the fuck we go.
Listen, Starkeisha, stay ready. Listen, Starkeisha, stay ready, bitch.
Dejanay always keep a blade. She keeps listen, even if it ain't but a little adjustable screwdriver. Listen, I'm already listen.
Listen, you ain't got to tell me. I understand. I definitely understand. But welcome, kittens. How y'all doing? Oh, come on, Dylan, for this. Hello, everybody. Hello, Dylan. I see Tyra. I see Eccentric. And Dylan in this having my best sexual Gemini moon. Like, oh, come on now. Wait a minute. Oh.
Living their best gay life.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hey, right, Eccentric. Just say that you're wrong. I mean, it would just be so much easier if you just say that you're wrong, and then we could just move on from it.
But listen, Eccentric, I will always say that I'm wrong. I
don't know about that. There's lots of times when you're wrong and you refuse to own up to it. This point in particular, I mean, because if you had just admitted you were wrong,
I am not. But any other time, bitch, I'll tell you, y'all, bitch, y'all know I'm late. Y'all know I'm late. So, bitch, what I got to hide for? Who I got to hide from, bitch? But I'm not today. That's what I'm saying. But in any event, it is Wednesday, and I'm happy to be here with you all today. It has been a week. This week has been weeking. It has been a day. This day has been daying. And I'm tired at the same time, but I'm excited, but I'm not. Yeah, so it's been a lot.
Girl, this smog in the air has got me coughing on top of coughing.
Can we just talk about the fact that it just makes me think of where are we at in this world? What's going on?
Well, it's just a wildfire. I'm not even putting that much energy into it, but it took me back. At least for me, it's just a wildfire. It is not the end time. Because the girls always, the girls always wanted to be the end times, but then, they shooting up niggas because, they was afraid. I was like, well, if you so happy to see Jesus, then you feels like you would welcome that opportunity. But for me, it's just a wildfire. But for me, it took me back to when I used to live across the street from the Glory Hole, and watching all of that be demolished, and they built that new baseball stadium, and all of that dust in the air. And I would cough like incessantly. I would be in the meetings and have to excuse myself because of how much I was coughing and how I couldn't stop coughing. And the only time I would get respite is when I had to travel to either Texas or Miami, because no dust in the air, obviously.
Okay.
I know that jacket you got on is cute. That is very festive.
Thank you. Oh, I'm feeling my zhuzh today. Thanks, Bougie. It was called
How was your week?
Huh?
How was your week?
This week has not been bad. It's just been a lot. So, and not necessarily in a bad way, just a lot of different stuff. Let me just see. I don't know if the bestie is watching, but if he is, it's not like it's a conversation that I won't have with him, or that I couldn't have with him. I was summoned out of town to show up, me and Des, and I made it. Des didn't. He had he actually had a death in his family, so my condolences to him on that. Literally, he had to go to the hospital and have his family pull the plug on his aunt. So it was like, okay, we get that, but that was kind of heavy to start that off. So, but knowing the bestie, like I know the bestie, he was like, oh my God, come up. I was like, okay. So I started adding stuff up. I was like, okay, it's a Saturday. Okay. It's the 1st of the month. We got like stuff to do. I was like, okay, so this is going to be an errand trip. I see what this is. And that's fine. You know what I mean? Because I don't go up as often as I should to go hang out with him. And when we lived closer together, we were always like around each other all the time. But, no big deal. So, but I already knew my whole day was going to be, booked up. So cool. But now I was just on the phone having a conversation like, damn it, my whole day going to be booked up. I got to do this, that, and the other. And we also were going to go pick up a television for him. So we get into the store, we look at this television, he figures out which one he wants. And I was like, well, you go over there, watch TV. So I'm going over here to the Apple stuff. I'm going to go look at some other stuff and see what's going on. I want to see what's new and all that stuff. I get over and I look at the little home pods. Baby, this home pod, the sound on that bad boy was amazing. Amazing. Bestie go gets his television. They're bringing it out from the back. And I was looking at it and I was showing, I was like, bitch, this sounds amazing. He said, bitch, this is like, we was all like in sync again. Like, bitch, yes, this is what it is. He was all right, bitch. He said, well, bitch, happy birthday. And I was like, what? The motherfucker comes out from the back and brings me the home pod. The way I'm in Best Buy complaining to the manager about their air filters in the Best Buy because I was a little upset.
You know what it was? It was the Canadian smoke. It was a little
bit much. And it's still like it's affecting me now because we all have issues and struggles and all that type of shit. And I, love the bestie to death. And I will support him, from here until, but I know what his situation is. So I was like, but why? Like, why are you like, it's okay. It's cool. It's like, listen, but then I also understand, and I have to understand, and I've come to better understand that sometimes you just have to take stuff for what it is. You just have to take the blessing for what it is. And so that's all that it was. So I'm very happy with that. And I hooked my little speaker up and it's amazing and all that good stuff. So I'm really happy about that. So that was a good thing to my week.
Good.
One of the bad things was since I've been working from home, we have this schedule where we're going back and forth, and I've had to go into the office. So I had to go into the office.
I gotta go grab my other phone. So keep talking.
Yes. So had to go into the office, and I went into the office on Monday, and I was there all day. I was like, this is so ghetto. Who goes into the office? Like, who does this? Like, what the hell? Exactly, Bougie. I had to, I have to accept that, and so that's what I'm trying to do. And there are very few people that I allow that close to me in that circle that can affect me like that, and he is one of them. So it was just one of those moments. But anyway, so besides having to go on Monday, then I had to go into a training that was Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So I'm like, God damn it! I'm like, I'm on campus all week long. I'm like, I'm driving, going into work and shit, traffic and shit, and Catholic got shit going on around there with the traffic and shit. Like, I'm just annoyed. Like, I'm like, all right. My boss comes in from out of town, and he's like, I don't know how to operate this, and I can't do that. And I don't know what I'm gonna. And then that turns into a, hey, brother, can you drop me off at the such and such and such and such? I'm on
your pardon. Bitch, you make as much money as I do. You better call an Uber or something.
Baby, and I'm trying not to get into that space of like, bitch, what? I'm like, so I'm trying to, but listen, I've realized that if I just remove myself from the situation, or I continue doing what the fuck I do, and you and Tyra and everybody else that has attended said cookies and cocktails, where I kind of get that ghost gene going on, that vanishing act, this disappearing act, that's what I have to do with him. I was like, okay, well, all right, listen, so it's at the end of the day, and I was like, y'all called y'all Uber already? Okay, great. Listen, I'm going up to the office. I'll walk up there with y'all. Okay, great. All right. They walked into one office, and baby, I walked out the other door. I was like, okay, I'm out. I'm goodbye. I did that today again as well, but it was still a lot of conversation. That was the whole drama for me of like, oh my God, I gotta go on.
That's called an Irish goodbye. I just learned that phrase today, where you leave without saying goodbye.
Bitch, I've been doing it for years, and I saw that same post, and I was like, bitch, what? So yes. But so yes, I've been practicing that. And then what else is going on this week? Well, I'm sorry, let me go back as well. I think I told you did I tell you I went down to go look at my fur baby? I'm getting into my cat daddy mode.
Last week, yes.
Yes, I'm getting into my cat daddy mode. I'm actually shopping for stuff, and I'm kind of putting stuff up, and I'm like, okay, well, let me go ahead and wait. And so I'm getting ready to be that cat daddy. I have my leash and my little bubble cube to put my kid in. I think I know what I want to name my kid, whether it's a girl or a boy, and all that good stuff. And look at the insurance and stuff. And so I'm getting a little excited about that. So I'm good. So that's been a good thing. But then I'm also mad because I got my fucking electric bill. I was like, it's just one person. What the fuck you mean? So again, ups and downs. Huh?
Gotcha.
Yeah, they did. So there's a lot of ups and downs this week. But like I said, every day above ground is a good one, and I'm good. I'm good with it. So it's been an interesting week, and I'm happy to be here for this week. So that's all I can say. Yeah, and I'm trying to get into these 30 days of Epic and make sure I do something for myself every single day. So I don't know what I can say I did for myself today, other than take a nap, because I was kind of tired when I first got home.
Sometimes that's what you need.
Yeah. So yes, Bougie, it would be a cat. I would love to have a dog as well. I'm a boxer. I like boxers. I like Great Danes. I also like Dalmatians, but I've always wanted to have a dog and a cat as well. So I think I always was going to get a dog and a cat. But anyway, I don't have enough space as far as I'm concerned for a dog. I don't want to be in a space with the dog, and I have to keep him outside or walk him outside. And I don't want to do all that. So at some particular point when I move into something permanent, that might be the move. But for right now, it's definitely going to be I'll be a cat daddy at that particular point. So, but all in all, it's been it's been good. I mean, this adulting shit is just ghetto. You got to pay bills and shit.
Very ghetto.
Like, it's just a lot. Like, you gotta make decisions with people. You gotta have conversations with people. You gotta talk to your staff. Like, I had to have a conversation with one of my staff members.
Uh-oh.
you know how you sit there and you say, bitch, I've been there and I've done that. And I've said that to you in 18 different, but you still think I'm
Basically, you trying to pull a stunt, but you're talking to the stunt queen.
change the
Listen,
title.
bitch. Listen, every step that you tried to pull, every I'm gonna work 4 hours but charge 8 hours, or I'm gonna cut corners and still try to get paid. Every stunt that you ever tried or thought about trying, I've already pulled it and pulled it better because I never got caught.
Baby. And listen, this week's stunt. This week's stunt was, so I said to I said to my staff, I said, listen, if you work during this time period, I'll give you a comp day. Okay, great. Something happened. I can't remember what it was, but out of the 6 people, 4 of them were not able to do what I asked them to do over that time. So therefore, only 2 people earned a comp day.
Right.
You're one of the 4 that said you couldn't do something. So I was like, okay, cool. Now I'm writing this shit down, but I also remember this because I'm like, okay, I'm remembering this. Okay. So then she hits me with the, oh, I'm going to take a comp day this week on, because my son's graduating, this, that, and other. And I was like, a comp day from what? She was like, from we were, during that week. And I was like, but didn't you say you didn't work that week? She's like, no, that's not what I said. You sure that's not what you said? She's like, no. I was like, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, are you just trying to use this comp day because you don't have any more vacation days or you don't have any more sick days? And honestly speaking, had you just asked me, I probably would have let you still take the day off anyway and told you to do something because it's your son's graduation. But you want to go ahead and play the game that you actually earned a comp day when you didn't do anything during the time that I asked you to do it?
Right.
Okay. All right. Okay. And then you end the conversation with, and it's a little slow, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave a little bit early. Darling, you're scheduled to be there until 5:30. It is 5:15. You're not even calling me and asking me. You are telling me that you've already left. Okay, I got you. I got you. So this is where we play office petty politics. So there's 2 presentations that are coming up. Guess who signed up for those? And she just volunteered. Oh my God, it's just amazing. Oh, you're booked all week. You have 4 presentations to do all next week. This is where we are. So it's little shit like that, but this is where we are. But like I said, it's all good. I don't really have too many other complaints. But again, like I said, this adulting is ghetto.
Very.
It's ghetto. So, but anyway, that was my week. That was my day. That's been my attitude. And yeah, my mom's birthday was last week. I had a moment about that, just thinking about, my mom or whatever. And it was cool. I talked to her and, but again, it's just, just like, all right, well, okay, cool. But, so happy belated birthday, Mom. Cause I didn't get to talk about it on air, but, happy belated birthday. And,
happy birthday, Mary Alice. It's Mary Alice, right?
Mary Alice, AKA Frog, which she absolutely despises. But all your girlfriends call you Frog and Mary Alice. But okay, so that's what I'm gonna call you. But anyway, but yeah, so but it's been good. It's been good. It's been good. How was your week?
As one, might expect, I have a list. The list starts as follows. Hey Dominion. They did not call me Dominion. They call me by my government name. Hope all is well, smiley face. Listen, am I eligible to apply to other Amtrak positions? Something maybe more manageable and better suited for me?
What?
I was sitting in the conference room when I got this message. And the person that I was sitting in a room with, I was like, he is not gay, but I didn't say bitch. Guess who just texted me? But I was like, guess who just texted me? And he was like, who? And I told him who, and we had a hearty little haha. Then I went to go see our boss, and I was like, let me read you this message. And then I read her the message, and then I said, guess who sent me this message? And the first 2 guesses don't count. Named somebody, and I was like, no. And I say who it was. And baby, we laughed for a full 30 seconds. I was like, sir, you got fired. You
And wait a minute. Just read the ending to me. Read the message again. I just want to make sure I'm getting a full picture of what we're talking about again.
Am I eligible to apply to other positions, something maybe more manageable and better suited for me? And this was on Tuesday. I have not yet responded. I'm like, I'm saying to myself, I got to figure out the right words to be like, listen, brother, you got fired for doing a bad job at your job. You are welcome to apply for whatever it is that you want, but you should know that if they come to me or my boss and say, hey, didn't he used to work for you? I am going to be forced to pull up your performance evaluation.
So let me ask you a question, because if they are no longer employees,
they were contractors, so they were never employees.
Right. But if they're no longer working for you, and technically speaking, you what you are allowed to say is that they worked for you from this time to this time, and they no longer
but they didn't work for me. They worked for a company.
Right. Well, no, what I'm saying is like it's just the dates of their employment. Their performance is not necessarily something that you should legally share, but I mean, as a colleague.
But my thing is, I never employed them. Amtrak never employed them. So this is an Amtrak employee coming potentially. None of this has happened, but this is potentially an Amtrak employee coming to say, hey, we got this resume from so-and-so. Didn't he used to be on your team? And I'll say, yeah. And then they'll say, well, how was he? And I'm going to be like, I mean, listen, I'm not going to try to throw anyone under the bus, but I'm going to be like, it didn't work out.
Right. No, and that's my question and my statement all at the same time. It's because yes, you can pull up the performance evaluation because you can look at it and do whatever. But what I was saying was you can't necessarily share that like legally, but I think you can probably have that conversation. Say,
I think I can share it legally because he never worked for Amtrak. He was a contractor for Amtrak, so I couldn't go to his company and do that. But this is essentially someone asking me about a colleague that used to work here.
Right. And I guess that was my question, because I thought you could only just say they used to work here.
Yeah. And so if and I've had that situation where someone who worked for me for my company called me, because that dummy was, well, this tells you how dumb he was. That dummy put us down as a reference. And so the company that we worked for, he put that company down as a reference and me as his boss. And so I went to HR and I was like, well, what can I say? As he was like, you should only say the dates that he worked. And then if they start asking you questions about performance, it has to be things that you can back up. So it can't be like editorial comment, like, he smelled, which he did, or he breathed. So breathed audibly. Like he had some sort of I don't know if it's a deviated septum or what, but literally every breath he took was like this.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. That's not.
No, so the first day that he worked there, right? I'm sitting there with my work wife. So we're sitting there, and he was like, CT messages me on, it wasn't Teams, it was Microsoft Communicator or whatever. He's like, what the fuck is that sound?
I was gonna say, but you know how
three of us in the room.
You know how I am about distracting sounds, or like, I'll be like, bitch, what the fuck is that?
And the only thing, I was like, well, it's not me. I said, I think it's so-and-so, because I don't want to put his name out there. And so that was it. But he was just terrible at his job. So yeah, so I wouldn't throw that person I'm not going to throw this guy under the bus by saying he was like the worst person I ever would, but I'm also not going to lie. I'm not going to only say that, because then if they hire this person and they turn out terrible, because that person don't work there. He's a contractor. He's never going to get converted, but I still got to work with these people for the next 15, 20 years. And they're going to be like, you threw me under the bus. You should have told me this person was a piece of shit, and then we would have never been through this. So anyway, that was funny. Also, in Bitches Got Fired news, remember the person that I talked about last month where they ain't do nothing for a whole month?
Yeah.
They're no longer on any of our projects.
Wow.
And listen, I am not trying to be the person that's responsible for a black woman getting fired, but you're not going, if it comes down to a choice between you and me, guess who's going to get fired?
Hey, hallelujah. But wait a minute. I need to, can I add an addendum to that? Because
of course,
since we're in the Bitches That Got Fired segment, I got an email from our unemployment insurance.
Your Guam friend?
From our unemployment insurance office, and they want to have a conversation with me because they are trying to figure out why she applied for unemployment.
Why would they need to have a conversation with you? They need to have a conversation with HR.
I'm her supervisor, and they want to see if they need to fight this unemployment insurance.
Yes, girl. Unemployment is for when you get let go through no fault of your own. Girl, you chose to move to Guam.
And so the thing is, when I was talking to my boss about it today, he said that was job abandonment. So like,
exactly.
I was like, I said, well, listen, because I responded back to him. I said, hey, I said, I'm in a training all week. I'll be able to talk to you Friday after 12, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, fine. Baby, listen, I don't, and I'm not trying to, like you said, I'm not trying to have you be unemployed because of me. But baby, if they're asking me a question, I'm going to answer it. Like and at the end of the day, if I have to choose between you and me, your job and my job,
it's not even a question.
I'm gonna just go ahead and let that marinate on.
Yeah. So your girl, to recap for those that didn't see the show last week, on May the 4th, one of the guys that worked for me sent out a package to the team, stuff that needed to be reviewed. They had 3.5 weeks to get that done. So he sends out everything, and he works for me. So you know the kind of emails that I write. So I've already trained him up. It wasn't just thrown over the fence. He was like, here are the 5 things I need you to do. Here's what I need you to do on each one. Here's where all of the documents are located. You have until this day to do it. Then every week in our huddle, it was like, how's everybody doing with their reviews and everything? So here we come on the Friday before, it was actually the Thursday before Memorial Day. All right, all of y'all stuff is due. You come to her, and she was like, a review? And then he comes to me, he's like, so-and-so, her team hasn't done their review. And more than that, she wasn't even aware that a review was happening. And I was like, well, what the fuck did she think we was talking about all of this month when we talked about it all the time? And then remember when I didn't get in trouble, but people were like, next time if you got an issue, come to me before you escalate. And I was like, I'm coming to you before I escalate because there is a problem.
Something's right in Denmark.
Right. And so then today, or yesterday, I got the word that she got let go and got replaced with my good Kiki partner. So we're gonna be able to get some work done.
Well, that'll work. That's good.
So I mean, I am not sad for her. I mean, I just can't. I can't live my life in this space of just because we black, I got to put up with foolishness. And I never was in that space. But what I'm saying is that I'm not going to allow myself to feel bad about making a decision, because my decision was not based on her being black or her being a woman. It was based on her being terrible at her job, and her being terrible at her job adversely impacting me and my ability to get my job done. So there's that. All right, so I have a couple of TikToks, but we'll get that to that at the end. So I am caught up on Drag Race.
Let's talk about it.
And so, but my comments are very high level.
No, that's fine.
I
Because I
don't
mean,
really,
because this is technically not, this is not us reviewing the show at all, because we've done reviews of it, but
right.
this is just us having a conversation. Because I'm still sticking to my guns of, I'm over Drag Race right now, and I think the
I'm
only reason
100% over it, but it's something to do on Fridays, and I'm
and
less over All Stars than the other
also
ones
because
because
we know the people from All Stars, and we're kind of like, that's what I, for
it's
me,
less
that's how,
dramatic. That's the I don't like that sort of drama and all of that. So listen, the challenges are dramatic enough. I don't need like the interpersonal drama. So speaking of which, all that shit with Heidi, I just listen, girl, I like you, but you carried on a little bit.
so you think Heidi carried a little bit?
I think she was right. I think Candy's lying.
So wait. Do you think Candy's lying, or do you think Alexis Michelle is lying?
I
Because if
think
you
they
ask,
are both lying.
because I think Alexis Michelle told a bold-faced lie. I feel like that bitch, she was like, I got caught, and bitch, I don't know what else to say, so I'm gonna just.
Well,
That's
I mean,
that's what I.
listen, if 275 pounds of candy was in my face, I might not want to fight the bitch neither.
Oh no, I'm gonna fight the bitch.
I mean, I'm saying if I was Alexis, I would want to fight her. I would be like, well, look,
Bitch, we just gonna bang it out.
I'd be like,
Bitch, we just gonna bang this out because I don't like.
bitch, we can get down.
Yeah, Candy. I mean,
and here's the thing: we can get down in front of the cameras, or I mean, no, actually, we can get down behind the cameras and settle this like two men, or we can get down in front of these cameras like a couple of bitches. So I mean, either way, but I think Heidi was right, but I was like, girl, it's a competition. So you can't trust these girls, so just keep it moving.
so that's one thing for me. I feel like that's the part that's the dramatization of it all is like, oh, my feelings are so hurt. Girl,
And
this is a competition.
right. And I also feel like she's got something else going on, and this is just she's projecting it into the other situation is projecting into this, and this felt like her out to get maybe she wasn't feeling as confident this time around or whatever, or she's got other things going on, and this is giving her a way to be out of the show.
I don't know. I feel like yes, it was a great way for her to out from the show. And I feel like some of the kids, and I've heard a lot of the former contestants talk about how difficult it was their first time on the show and how it was like a horrible experience for them and for a couple different reasons. And I feel like some of them may not have realized how traumatized they were or how bad of an experience they were or it was for them until they got back in that space. Like case in point, Adore Delano.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Adore came back, she was there for like 1 or 2 episodes. She was like, "Girl, I can't do this." Ben de la Creme, when she came back, she was like, "Girl, I'm out." I like, so I feel like some of the girls are like, when they're faced with it again, it becomes a PTSD type of thing where they're faced with it, they're like, "All right, I'm out." So that very well could be the issue. But I definitely think, based on this situation, I feel like Heidi had some piece of information. It may not have been what exactly she said it was, but it was definitely pertinent.
She was skirting around the edges because it feels like whatever she was going to say, somebody's feelings was about to be real hurt.
Exactly. And so I felt like she just said, fuck it, I'm going to just take this L and keep it moving. And
right, because basically they were trying to throw Heidi under the bus. And she was like, wait a minute, bitch. Because if I feel this tea, y'all whole world about to be fucked up.
Listen, and then Alexis, and then with that dramatic cry, I was like, well, what the? I was like, girl, see, that's that conscious shit.
And so, speaking of Alexis, that ball spot is very distracting. Not very distracting. And listen, I have gotten into it, and I got into it when I was 26 years old. When I turned 24, I was 23 actually. when we were initiated into our fraternity, you know, it is a coeducational fraternity, so none of the women shaved their head, but all of the men in our chapter, we shaved our head because that's what you do when you're in a fraternity. You know, everybody crosses, everybody shaves their head, and it was cute. But starting at 23, and these were not connected things, but you know, I started visibly thinning. And then I remember I was like 26, and my barber was like, "You're getting really thin on top." And I was like, "Thank you. I never need to come here again." And I did not go to the barber from the age of 26 until I started seeing Fred. So I did not go to the barber for almost 25 years.
Yeah.
And no shade, I wasn't like traumatized with that, but I was like, you know what? If it is visibly thinning like that, because I've never wanted to be one of those people that are deluding myself like Alexis Michelle is. You got this big ass bald spot, and then you got this little tuft of hair that is not even hiding anything because you know
that bald spot was the bitch. That's what she giving. Just black with a big white.
Much bigger than that, and you got this little tuft on the front that ain't really doing nothing to cover all of this, you know. So I was like, it is very distracting.
It is. But you know, listen, I will say this. I like Alexis. I think she pulls her shit all the way together. But she's very pageant girl-esque. And so it's like she can never shake and break out of that mold of being all the way together. I think she has what it takes, but I don't necessarily know if she's going to win.
Oh no, I don't think she's going to win. I think Jimbo's going to win.
Jimbo is definitely a crowd favorite right now and is leading the pack doing shit. As ridiculous as
only way Jimbo gets sent home is if he just stumble. I don't know if it's he or they, because I've heard maybe it's they, so I'll just go with they. If they stumble, you know, a little bit and end up in the bottom two, and the girls get rid of him because he's a threat. And I can see that. And then when the girls are like, "You voted for me," I was like, "Yeah, bitch, somebody got to get voted." And it was between the two of you. So it's a 50% chance. And if you've been doing good all this time, then I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity to get rid of your ass. And if you don't understand that, you don't understand this is a fucking competition. Because I would be like floored unless we were in an alliance. If we are not in an alliance, I expect someone, if I have been doing very well, and I do badly 1 week, I'd be like, well, I guess I'm getting sent home, because there's no way that I would expect people to keep someone. It's in a competition for $200,000. I would not $100,000. There's no way that I would expect them to keep me around if my performance is lacking. And if I've been in the bottom several weeks in a row, I'm definitely going to be like, oh, well, then I guess it's my time.
So wait a minute. Can we just talk about this glow up? Because I think the first season of Drag Race, they got paid. Was it $10,000 or was it $25,000?
It was some very small amount.
I think it was $25,000 because it went from 25 to 50 to 75, then 100. You are at $200,000.
And the Queen of All Queens, it was $250, right?
I didn't even watch that. I didn't watch Queen of All Queens.
Yeah, you did with the season that Jinx won.
That's All Stars.
That's what I'm saying. All Stars, Queen of All Queens. This is an All Stars.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I did watch that, but I don't think they got $200,000.
You know what? Maybe they didn't, but yeah. So this is a lot of money, especially for girls who never won anything.
Yeah, I don't think they got $200,000. I can look at that in a second. But yeah, the glow up is real. So they stopped making Rue look blurry.
Right, they start putting that Vaseline on the lens to soften the edges. But here's where I'm gonna go. I will continue to say maybe they need to do a little bit of that, because baby, even for Rue, baby HD is not their friend. Because I swear the only person that consistently looks put together and you cannot see any lines or anything is motherfucking Michelle Visage, because that bitch always looks together.
You know why? Michelle Visage you know why Michelle Visage is always put together? Listen, she's a butch queen. That's what she is. She is a butch queen in drag. That's what she is. Michelle Visage is not. It's ridiculous how clean she is every single week. And
When she started doing that silver streak, I love how every week that silver streak is working to whatever hairdo. She
love
always looks so on point.
I love it. I absolutely love how she's always put together. She's like, bitch, what? Always. And she can back up everything that she talks about on this show.
Right.
Girl. Now, I'm not saying that she's vocally, blowing the house down or nothing, but she could blow a little bit. That's cool. Right. She had what? 1 or 2 singles on the Bodyguard.
Listen, she has parlayed whatever she got into a career, and she is good to go.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
So 2 more comments. One, I thought that the little way that they chose the teams with the balloons, I thought that was cute. Especially, I like what they wanted Jimbo to do with the balloon with the 2 dudes on the side. I was like, that's cute. I like that. But then Candy was like, I usually give, but today I'm going to receive. And so my note from that, I was like, who is letting Candy Muse climb on their back?
Listen. This is what I'm getting ready to do. one of our fans.
I
had a conversation with one of our fans about how the girls will trick the girls. They will rope the girls. They will. You meet their representative.
I'm just saying that and listen, for real, I don't give a shit who Candy is topping or bottoming for, but I'm just like, I just don't, and I don't need to. But listen, we got a show, we got time to fill, so it's something I'm like, I just don't see it for her. But I mean, that's okay. I mean, listen, some people might see they don't see it for me.
Listen, as I've been told before, and I've subscribed to ever since then, there is a lid for every pot.
Right.
But baby, that pot or that lid can't come nowhere near my cookware. None of it.
Yes, God.
None of it.
God.
Nope, we're not doing that. But hey.
The last comment that I have for Drag Race is, dear RuPaul, none of these jokes are that funny. The way she be carrying on, the way she was carrying on at some of those, exactly. And I was like, girl, these jokes are not that funny. They are just not that funny. I mean, it's a little I will say a couple of the things that B. Arthur said were cute.
Yes.
That was cute.
But you know what?
And you know what? Let me tell you, the girls don't ever learn. They be doing these obscure characters that don't nobody hear about, don't nobody know about. What you got to do is choose somebody that an old, because that's what Rue is 65 years old. So it's got to be an old gay. So think about fucking Edie, little Edie. Think about whoever that was that did Joan Collins, Joan Crawford, all of those things. Or, because and it's so funny because the kids be like, oh, I'm young, I'll do Beyonce. They never do a good job at those things.
And the funny thing is, you can do so much with people that are current right now. Bitch, even if you just run it, like when they talked about the Kardashians that time, and they were like, she's like, wait a minute, you could have just said everything with it starts with a K. Like you could have where's the creativity?
You could have been there with a little plastic container full of salad and just shook that and looked unbothered, like the whole thing. And it should have been like, name a state like California. I mean, you could have turned it. And poor Kahana Montrese, yes, she is traded a season, but baby, you
but wait a minute.
Hold on. Again.
Hold on. So while I feel like what she said, that was how she felt. She said her feelings. But baby, she was a little pissed off at Heidi for her not being able to perform. That ain't got nothing to do with
And Heidi, I agree with Heidi. I was like, girl, she's trying to help you. This is like in a little thing. She was giving you a line.
Yeah, she was lobbing you balls all the time.
All you had to do was hit them back at her.
That's it. That's all you had to do.
I mean, you can be mad at that, but be mad at yourself because you don't have any comic talent. Don't be mad because she was trying to help you out. That's your girl. I mean, what did you want her to do?
Exactly.
Just sit there and let it be dead air?
Exactly.
Yeah. That's actually was worse. It would have been worse if it had been you had landed whatever, okay. You didn't even she didn't even go like all the way with Coco Montrese. I mean, like
it was so the first go round or first image or the first pass of it, I was like, all right, this is kind of cute. I was like, I see it. And with the first comment, I was like, okay, if she can keep this up, this might work for her. Mm-hmm. But maybe that thing, it went downhill. It went downhill.
And it also, there are challenges that you always are going to know. If you're going to be on All Stars, you're going to do this. If you're going to be on the regular version, you're going to do Snatch Game. So I feel like what I would do, first of all, you got to bring the outfit that you was going to wear. So you already know what you're going to do. Watch previous versions and answer the same fucking questions because it's going to be the same kind of questions. So if this is season 16 of RuPaul's Drag Race, go back and look at the last couple of seasons and see what kind of questions they ask and answer them as the question, as the character that you want to do.
Exactly. I listen. So Spill It Boy and I have had several conversations about that because I don't know. I'm not sharing his business because he's talked about it in this one YouTube because he's auditioned several times for the show and you have to do a character and all sorts of stuff. And so we were talking about that. I was like, this is amazing. Like and the thing is, unfortunately for him, he's definitely an in the moment person. So when you get him there in front of the camera, baby, you don't know what the fuck is gonna come out of his mouth. And that's his gift. That's fine. But baby, it was just getting him to that point where they could see that there's something else that's there. That was the struggle when we're talking about like what he should be doing and how he should be doing it. And not that because I'm not trained to do anything of that crap, but we were just having a conversation just about it, just tossing some ideas back and forth. But it's a lot, the whole process. But
so I mean, I'm just like a person talking about football who's never, who don't play football
at all,
or I'm critiquing art. By the way, did you like my my picture from the museum on Saturday?
I don't even think people really understood. Like, did y'all understand what was going on in this photo? Henny, did you understand what was going on in this photo? This bitch is laid out up in the motherfucking museum, honey. She was laid out. She was it was life imitating art. It was a conversation of duality between male and muscle male, and then it was
all of that, darling. All of that. Hold on.
Come on.
Let me get y'all together on this picture.
It was a conversation, the duality of being awake versus being asleep, being drunk versus being sober, being tired versus being worn out. Like, it was a whole conversation. Then it was a rainbow that was there. Get into all these levels. Get into it, bitch.
And then, did you get into my shoe?
Taste the rainbow, bitch.
So, the pair of shoes that I showed you, same. So these are Adidas as well.
Okay.
And I've been looking for a pair of rainbow shoes, and Azamet got me a pair of cute rainbow tennis shoes just on happenstance. And so I like those, but then I happen to be on where was I? I was on Instagram. And you know how they had the ads, and one of them was for Adidas, because anytime you click on something, that puts you on the list. So then now I saw the shoes that I normally, the cute shoes that I showed you from Adidas, and then they had these, and I was like, oh, bitch sold.
Yeah. It was cute. It was real cute.
And she gives you a good 2.5 inch height too. So they are platform tennis shoes. So I'll be rocking those. Listen, I won't be wearing them this weekend for Pride because we're with the leather contingent. So,
but are they comfortable?
They're very comfortable.
That's where we are. That's where we are. As long as they comfortable.
All right, so I got 2 TikToks to share with you.
Wait a minute, Dylan and Desmond. What the hell is going on? Desmond, did you see that comment of Desmond's about the bottoms of Philly?
The bottoms of Philly are in drag. They dress up like boys, talk like boys, look like boys, then turn can't real quick. Then turn cunt real quick. Okay, got it.
But wait, but then Dylan says, "Why you letting the bottoms bully
you?" Desmond say they bullying the whole Philadelphia.
Oh God. Anyway, go ahead.
Yo, sunflower. All right. So, all right, here's the first video. You ready? Is it showing?
Yes.
My pussy does not ever stink.
Oh my God.
Well, it don't. I mean, really.
Well, we're not really gonna have this conversation.
Well, I mean,
one more time in case y'all didn't hear that.
I mean,
my pussy does not ever stink.
Oh my God.
Well, it don't. I mean, really.
Well, we're not really gonna have this conversation.
Well, I mean,
first of all, I aspire to that level of I don't give a fuck.
Baby, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. We're listen, bitch. We are on the express train because I just want you to know that we are on the express train. We're on our way there.
So I'm going to go to the next one. Can you see it?
Yes.
Hello and welcome back. A lot of you all have said, Rashonda, you didn't star in a 70s TV sitcom, but you stay letting us know what's happening. And to that, I say thank you. Today, we're here to discuss something that really has some of you all in turmoil this month. And I'm here to help you. It's really very simple. Let's check the board. It's Pride Month. And for some reason, a lot of people are in a tizzy. Also in June, we have Juneteenth. And we are celebrating because somebody said, oh, by the way, the people in Texas, y'all are free. We forgot to tell y'all. We'll get to that later. Okay. But for some reason, you all are not getting this, and I really need you to understand. Okay. So let me draw you some clouds. Here's Jesus. I'm going to give him an afro. This is me. Okay. And back here, this is you. Okay. When I get to heaven, wherever they're having judgment day at, if I'm standing outside the pearly gates with my wristband on waiting to come up front, I'm not sure who's working the gate, but I do know this. Jesus is not going to ask you about me. He's going to ask me about me. See, when I go down in prayer on my knees, I'm on my knees, not on yours. Okay? I don't have to go through you to get to him or his dad. Okay? I don't have to do that. What you're missing is what I do doesn't affect you. More forward, what I eat doesn't make you shit. See? So when he cracks open the book of life and asks me about my quote unquote sins or what I have done, I will have to answer for them, not you. He's not going to look at you and say, you didn't stop Rashonda from being gay. You look a fool. The moral of this is mind your damn business. Okay? Not only did we have to fight to be free, before that, we had to fight to even be considered humans. Okay? Y'all didn't even think that Black people were human. So we go from human to get human rights. And now that we're free-ish, I'm free to do the ish that I want to do. Okay? Thanks.
And let the church say amen.
Listen, I was having another conversation with somebody about legendary reads over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
There was the latex ball that went down in New York City this weekend. I don't know if you've been hearing anything about it on the TikToks and the interwebs and everything else, but you know, the ballroom scene it's deep. It goes back years and years and years and years.
Mm-hmm.
One of the legends from the ballroom scene was there for the latex ball and got on the microphone and started talking about someone that was deemed an icon, which means you are above, legendary status. You're like an icon, like you are the architect, or you are the person that when you think of, the blueprint. So if I think of like a rainbow caftan, it's like, bitch, that's Dominion, or you know what I mean, like whatever. So he talked about this icon, and when I tell you the way he read her for stinking filthy points, and the reads that came out of it was he said she looked like a dirty bag of laundry, and that she was giving McDonald's. Listen, when I tell you that touched me all the way down the bottom of my soul, and I have Kiki, I'm gonna share it amongst the group because it was absolutely.
Because I've not seen this. This happened this weekend.
Yeah, actually, I just forwarded it over to you, and literally, it's the first 30 seconds of the video, and then it's like from a minute 40 on when they go back and forth, and and you have to listen to what he says because it's a 3-minute clip. But baby, it's the first 30 seconds that sets the introduction up. Then you skip up to like a minute 40 where the person he was talking about jumps in, and baby.
Because so they're there. Okay,
baby,
they were deemed at the event. Okay, got it.
Baby, listen, and if you're gonna play it, like I said, you can play the first 30 seconds, but then skip to like 140.
When did you send it on Facebook?
Yes, Messenger. But it was absolutely hilarious, and it was one of those things where it was like, bitch, this is going down in the books as one of these legendary reads, like Miss motherfucking Dorian Corey said. She was like, well, I don't have to tell you you're ugly because you already know you're ugly.
Yes. All right. So hold on. I'm waiting for it to load.
Bitch, it was amazing. Oh, so Eccentric's like, yes. Oh, bitch, I was falling out. Listen, absolutely hilarious.
Hold on. I think I got it. No, that's it. This is it. All right.
Yes. It's 3 minutes. You can play the whole video, but I'm telling you, what happens is the first 30 seconds sets it up, and then at like 140 on.
Yes, John.
Okay, let's get this started. Oh, first, let me say this much, okay? I've been doing balls. This is my 44th year. Anybody who's on this stage is because of me.
Yes.
And for you to think that you are the judge of fashion diva and you got on house shoes? No, Tony. I am a pioneer and you need to respect that. Now, let's get back to business. Okay?
Yeah.
My glasses are Linda Fowler.
Yes.
My hat is Comme des Garçons. My sweater is Comme des Garçons. My shirt is Comme des Garçons. My pants are Comme des Garçons. My underwear are Comme des Garçons. My belt is Comme des Garçons. My socks are Comme des Garçons. My shoes are Comme des Garçons. And last but not least, my bag is Top Blade.
And it all needs to be motherfucking high, and it's not motherfucking how
You
motherfucking
can
way.
never come for me. You can never come for me. You can never come for me. You can never come for me. You look like a baby bag of laundry. You can never.
Shut up.
Never.
And I still ain't shut.
In house shoes, looking like a dirty bag of laundry. You the reason why ballroom is a mess. You're a menace to ballroom. You should be banned. You're a McDonald's icon. You've never won nothing. the tight ass. All right.
Bitch.
Well,
When I tell you the way I was falling out when he got to talking about these house shoes, and then when I saw Miss Kelly walk across that stage with them house shoes,
I thought that was Miss Kelly.
That was Miss Kelly. Listen, she marched across the stage. Then she tried to really go in on him, but bitch, when he said you look like a dirty bag of laundry, bitch, I lost it. But the McDonald's icon sealed it for me. Sealed it for me, bitch.
What have you won? What have you won?
Baby, I don't give a fuck what you say about nothing about New York City, but baby, when you talk about New York City, you talk about an old queen from New York City that's from Brooklyn or Long Island, or and I think he gave me a little look of a little Latino going on. Baby, listen, you put all this shit together, the reeds will start coming, and baby, they were flowing effortlessly. And I was like, even down to the motherfucking stomp on the stage, he was trying to stomp them motherfucking slippers. I said, this motherfucker, I got my complete and total life.
Right. So two other things that I saw. So today I saw, Keke Palmer was on a show called
Terrell?
The Terrell Show during a game of I Know You Fucking Lying. She answered a series of questions that gave the fans more insight into some of her, lesser known quirks and perspectives. One of the questions that came up was, what is something you hate that everybody loves? And then she said, quote unquote, Claire Huxtable. She was uppity, y'all. Bottom line. She was imitating Claire and said, oh, really? Oh, I just said, girl, stop. And then she said, y'all know Claire was way too, come on. She was just so, I'm Claire Huxtable. Oh, Cliff, girl, say what you say. And she got on my nerves sometimes because I'm like, Claire, keep it real, sister. Claire, seriously, Claire was too much. And I had thoughts on that.
Baby, listen, here's what I was going, when I saw it, I was like, girl, first of all, it's Claire Huxtable, bitch. How you gonna fucking talk about Claire Huxtable?
You better put some motherfucking respect on Claire Huxtable's
name. But then I had to sit back and think about it, and I was kind of like, you might have a point there, girl. You might have a point.
I disagree. I think that, this is a classist divide amongst a lot of Black people. Not all, but some. I remember, well, you and I are the same age. You are 4 years younger. I will give you 4 months younger. I will give you, your little whatever.
So we're not the same age. You're older.
You're 3 months younger. So I was born on March 26th. You were born 2 months and several days later. Okay, good for you, honey.
You're
good
older.
For you.
You're older.
Would you like a biscuit?
You're older. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish the story.
Anyway.
Age before beauty. Go ahead.
I remember conversations about how shows in the 70s, Good Times, What's Happening, even shows like Julia was always about single mothers, or, even Good Times, it was a 2-parent home, but then the father got killed and they lived in the ghetto, or someone was getting beaten or abused or whatever. Or it was about, a poor family from the ghetto who got a little money. So now they're moving on up. And so the Cosby Show reflected, listen, my parents were not, my father was not a doctor. My mother was not a lawyer. But the family that was represented on the Cosby Show was a lot more representative of not only my family, but all of the families that I knew about, my own family, like my extended family, as well as the families of my friends and the people in my neighborhood, then shows like Good Times. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with either of them, but I still think that Claire Huxtable was a good, it was an accurate representation of some kind of Black people, and can't you just let that be? And then one of the responses was, she wasn't bougie. She was just proper. Y'all just used to parents cussing y'all asses out. And I was like, I didn't hear my parents cuss until I was late into my teens, when my parents' marriage really started falling apart and they stopped giving a fuck. But and I'm not saying anything is wrong with that. I'm just saying that this idea that the life that Claire and Cliff lived and the family that they represented was completely fictional and didn't represent anyone's life. And people said the same thing about A Different World. Now, I will say that every Black person that I know was mad at A Different World, because I was like, well, I went to FAMU, or I went to North Carolina A&T, or I went to Howard, and my experience was nothing like Hillman. So, but it's still okay to have aspirations. And yeah, Claire may not have used curse words, but she cussed Vanessa the fuck out.
Baby, in one of the most legendary reads between Vanessa and what's her name, who went off the Hillman with the car, Denise. She told her about taking that car and discover America.
Go discover America. Yeah. So yeah, you don't have to yell and scream and cuss at your kids to be a good parent. And again, I'm not judging people's, because I know your mother cussed a lot. But I'm not judging that. I'm just saying that your mother and Claire Huxtable were both examples of Black womanhood.
Absolutely. And so here's my thing. I think sometimes I want people to understand that at least what it appears to be is that Kiki was talking about Claire Huxtable and not about Felicia Rashad.
No, I mean, I never took it for her to be talking about Felicia Rashad.
But some people kind of sometimes can't separate the person from, whatever. But I'm just going to make that statement.
If I couldn't do that, because when Claire was when Felicia Rashad was defending Bill Cosby, my respect for her, dropped several notches. But I'm talking about Claire and Heathcliff Huxtable that lived in that brownstone in Brooklyn. That's all I'm talking about.
Right. So, but the other part of that is, yes, they represented another segment of Black folk during that time. Not even necessarily during that time, like it was so long ago, but just in general, just black folk in general, Black families. And
that was 40 years ago.
It was, but I'm still saying, because they're still relevant and there's still people that they represent now and forever going
Very
forward.
much so. Mm-hmm.
But what I do see is I see where Kiki made a point. She said these are things that everybody loves that she doesn't hate, or that she doesn't care for.
Right.
So yes, she was very proper. And no, she didn't necessarily have to cuss. And yes, my mother was cussing like a sailor, but however, the architect in this family was not my mother, but my grandmother. Maybe she told me how to make a fuck adjective, adverb, noun, the verb, like everything. Mm-hmm. So, but my whole point is, when looking at the Cosbys just as an objective thing, Claire was a little bit uppity, and it's just my opinion. And she was a little bit uppity. There's nothing wrong with that. Let me be clear, because my mother was the same way when it came to certain things. She's like, "Oh no, bitch, I don't do that." I'm like, "Girl, you are you going to judge somebody when you?" Listen, okay, girl. But I see what she's saying. But again, she does represent a lot of our parents and the sides of our parents and styles of our parents' parenting styles that we benefited from. And because again, my mother, oh my gosh, she will cuss like a loud, and it was a lot. However, crucial moments and times where for in-depth conversations and pertinent things that or relevant things that were going on at the time in society, in the family, in my life, yes, she was able to clearly articulate those things to me in a manner that was unbiased. I think I learned more Black history from my mother and her siblings, like my aunts and uncles and all that stuff, just because they were there, they lived a lot of it. Whereas when I got to school and there were some things that I learned in the classroom, I was like, that's not how I remember that. That's not, or it's like, that's not necessarily true, or that's not how, people viewed it, or, but again, it just gave me something to think about. So it's a space and a place for all of it. But yeah, I'm not saying that she was, but I can see her point. That's all I'm gonna say. I can see her point.
I see what she said. I 100% disagree that is uppity. First of all, I don't like the word uppity because uppity has been used as a negative connotation for Black people for too long, and
Right.
I think even for other Black people, when you call someone uppity, it's usually a reflection of your own internalized feelings about something. When white people call a Black person uppity, it's a reflection of their own insecurities or their need to put this Black person down to feel superior. And then when a Black person calls someone uppity, it's a reflection of their own insecurities about their place or how they grew up or whatever. And I feel like it's internalized. Whatever for Black people, there's internalized homophobia, whatever you would call that for Black people.
Yeah. Well,
so, and even, Desmond says Claire was bougie as hell, but I was like, were they really though? Or were they, and this is something that strikes a little bit of a chord with me. And I mean, because like we joke about being bougie, but like when people say, oh, you bougie, I was like, no, bitch, I have struggled. I have eaten ramen noodles every day for a month because that was all that I could fucking afford. Now I make more money and I don't do that shit no more. And I'm not telling you how you have to live my life, but I'm telling you
now. You call it fun now. That's what you
know. I right. So I'm not telling you that you have to live my life or that you aren't as good if you aren't living my life. But don't try to put me down because you're not at my level. And you're the only one that thinks we're not at the same level because I recognize that you just don't have as much money and you're the only one that's ascribing some idea of better or worse based on, thank you, Dylan, internalized classism. But listen, it's a good conversation to have. And I think it's all good to talk about. I just remember my grandmother's family. Like I remember one time I was there visiting for the summer and I was watching Good Times and they hated Good Times because my family was Montgomery, Alabama. It's all educated Black Southern people, so their whole lives were about fighting these stereotypes that all Black people lived in the ghetto or in the hood or talked about dynamite and all of that stuff. So the fact that, the grandson, and it wasn't just me, all of the kids was like, yeah, Good Times is a great show. And they're like, fuck.
Listen, it's probably one of those topics that we can go on and on and on about, and there can probably be several courses and classes and probably a whole dissertation and papers and books have been written or are to be written on this classism, especially amongst African Americans. And when you start talking about different organizations, when you start talking about panhandle organizations like fraternities and sororities, you start talking about Jack and Jill, you start talking about different things, and how people want to disassociate but then still be a part of, but then redefine. And so there's a whole bunch of stuff that can be talked about when it comes to Black folks, classism, comedy, what's good to watch, what's quality TV or quality entertainment. But that's what makes this, in my opinion, that's what makes this our culture as dynamic as it is, because it's engaging, but it can also be polarizing at the same time. Right. So,
and it's only polarizing because everybody gets so wrapped up in their feelings. I'm like, girl, listen, if you think she was bougie and you don't like the show, sure, fine. My only problem is don't be mad at me because I like the show. I can accept your opinion, so just accept mine. I'm not judging you for your opinion because your opinion is based on your life and the life you live, but we can have a conversation about it back and forth without it being a problem. It's only a problem when you make it a problem, and we can't have like a discourse about it.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, Miss Sugar Snap. Listen, I gotta let y'all know that I had this wonderful conversation with Miss Sugar Snap the other day. Mm-hmm. Baby, listen, I'm not gonna put all our business out there, but we was having a conversation about some extra accoutrements and some ways that she can use them in the bedroom. And we had a conversation about
as Grace Adler would say, she wants to get more kinky in the boudoir.
Well, no, now let me be clear. Her record is good. Like she handles her shit. But I'm just saying this is one thing we was talking about. But I thoroughly enjoyed it because I haven't had a conversation with her and chatted with her for a minute. So I appreciate you for that. Thank you so much, Miss Sugar's that. I love the fact that we were able to talk about that. So listen, I need you to keep me posted on what's going on. Hello.
Right.
What worked?
So we've got 2 stories. Let's get into them real quick.
Yes. So listen, we reported a while ago about this whole Cardi B, Tasha K thing. So, and it's been over a year since Tasha K, the blogger, lost to Cardi B in a legal battle over defamation. So the gossip blogger has now filed for bankruptcy after claiming that she has less than $60,000 in assets. Now, per the court system, a Chapter 11 filing is frequently referred to as a reorganization bankruptcy. Usually that means the debtor remains in possession or has the powers and duties of a trustee and can basically continue to operate the business. It does have to have like approval and everything, which is why they go into the courts and all that good stuff. So as you remember, Tasha B made some claims that Cardi B had an incurable STD or STI, depending on what your age bracket is, was a prostitute. She used drugs and all this other stuff. And so she won a $4 million case. And she's been very vocal about the fact that she wants her $4 million that she won. Now, Tasha K has been making jokes that she doesn't have it. So she then, on May 25th, there was in the Florida federal court, Tasha filed the claims that she cannot pay out the hefty coin. But according to Billboard, Tasha's assets total out to $58,595, including a 21 Chevy Silverado that's collateral, 2 Louis Vuitton purses, $95 in her bank account, and her Unwind with Tasha K YouTube channel. The monetary value of her channel is listed as unknown. Now, the bankruptcy filing reported that the bankruptcy filing reportedly also includes Tasha K's Google account, which is worth more than $10,000 that was garnished in 2022 by Cardi's attorneys. Now, a shared income between Tasha and her husband was also listed at $156,000 in 2021 and $134,000 in 2022 from their online content creation. The document also included an income of $30,000 per month from the pair. Now, following the trial, jurors decided to decisively with Cardi B, leaving Tasha K liable for defamation and invasion of privacy and an intentional infliction of emotional distress. Cardi and her team were awarded more than $2.5 million in damages and another $1.3 million in legal fees. So that's how she got up to that $4 million. Now, Tasha K had joked that she had paid Cardi B all of her money on April Fool's Day this year, to which Cardi B, a skeptical Cardi, begged to differ, and she said the blogger took to Twitter on that day of pranks saying, "PSA winos," which is what I think she calls her people that follow her YouTube channel. I just paid off my $4 million debt in cash with prayer hands emoji, and she said she had claimed prior to that she didn't have any money to pay Cardi B and would be looking for a part-time gig. So she has this whole thing of like hashtag Tasha K gets a job. She wrote on Twitter, and she said, "I'll let you know what part-time gig I get so I can pay off this damn debt." She's like saying hashtag I ain't got it. But she said, "I'm going to get it." She hashtagged and put in there McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, and any positions that are available. In March, she appealed the court's decision, but lost again. She updated her fans on the judge's decision, and she said, "Damn, winos. We lost the appeal against Cardi B. Sad day, but I'm going to be all right. I appreciate all your love and support throughout this fight. Today, we throw in the white flag." She added, "What happened will never happen again. To Cardi and her team, I apologize sincerely. We live and learn." So, listen, Tasha, I feel bad for you that you will have to give up this $4 million that she has legally been awarded. And so that means that you may not have any income for the next couple of years. But I hope you figure out a way that you can pay it. But Cardi is not out here for play. She's not out here for play at all.
I don't feel sorry for her at all, because this all could have been avoided when the thing first came up. And Cardi was like, "Yeah, that's not true." The opportunity for her would have been to provide the proof, and then that would have shut Cardi up, or to take the fucking videos down. She didn't.
Well, and she did. She took some of them down because that's her.
But then she kept talking about them. Even now with this judgment, she's not taking it seriously. This is not a I can see both sides of this. No, you said lies about Cardi B that could damage her career. So, Cardi B has starred in a couple of movies where she's essentially paying Cardi B, right? But so did a lot of people when they started. Queen Latifah started out playing movies where she was just fucking Queen Latifah in a movie. But then
that would set it off.
That would set it off. But then she got to do other stuff and got to expand beyond that. If you've got this incurable STD, a lot of men and a lot of other scene partners are not going to want to kiss you. They're not going to want to do intimate scenes with you. So you are damaging this woman's career over something that you made up and that was made up. Because if you had proof, when someone sues me for $4 million and I think it's true, bitch, it's time to put the shit out there if you have proof that these things are true. And since she didn't, then it's a lie. And then now she's like, get a part-time job and all this. So she's not even taking it seriously. So fuck her. I hope Cardi takes her ass to the bank, because Cardi is doing what people like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle should do, and what they really can't do because of their position. But what a lot of celebrities do is just put up with it. But Cardi is new money,
right?
And she ain't got Princess Diana was my mama money, So she got to protect. She's got to build, because the little $5 million or $10 million that Cardi is worth now, that could be snorted away. That could go away in a couple of poor diamond purchases or whatever. So she's trying to build a legacy, and this woman is adversely affecting that, and she's showing no remorse. And so even if Cardi is like, yeah, maybe I was too hard on this woman, and then she's like making jokes about it. So she ain't learned shit. So fuck her.
Well, listen, good luck, Godspeed, and all that good stuff. So get her her $4 million sooner than later. And
if she got property in Africa, sound like she need to take her ass to Africa then, because as long as she's in this country, every nickel that she make is going to belong to Cardi.
And the thing is, if you do have property in Africa, then maybe you might want to go ahead and sell that shit, give her $4 million, and keep on going what you're doing, because this ain't gonna go away. And Cardi is not. Listen. Cardi is not going away. She's going to keep that foot on that neck and try to get as much as she can just for the principle of it at this particular point.
And I would too, especially if you're not even going to show any remorse and sort of take it seriously and be like, listen, because now I would be like, I would say, if I was her, I would say to her lawyers, be like, all right, so we lost, we played our cards. So now what are our options? Can we negotiate this down to an apology or some shit? Because Cardi they awarded a judgment, but Cardi, as the plaintiff, can come back and say, we've agreed that she's going to apologize. She is never going to say this again.
I don't think Cardi's going to do that.
I don't think she is either. And I think this woman is too dumb to even realize the corner that she is backed into. Mm-hmm. Cardi is a fucking pit bull. So
yeah, she is. Well, anyway, so this next story, Mos Def may also have to pay. He has some baby mama drama going on. So the rapper, once known as Mos Def, may have to fork over nearly $100,000 in earnings from an upcoming show to pay off his baby mama's attorney fees for their child support battle. The musician, who has used the name Yasin Bey since 2011, has 6 kids with 4 different women and is set to open for Erykah Badu on her upcoming tour. Now, one of the moms, Paris-based Karima Sorrell, wants the $88,602.63 she says Bey owes her, and is going straight to tour backers Live Nation. Now, a law firm representing Sorrell wants a Manhattan judge to enforce the judgment against Bey and require the companies to turn over his earnings to pay off the debt, according to the legal filing. Now, Badu's "Unfollow Me" tour kicks off on June 11th in San Antonio and hits Madison Square Garden July 8th. Bey is the On and On Singers opening act for all 25 tour dates. Now, it was said that this matter arises out of protracted child support proceedings in family court between Karima Sorrell and the child's father, which was according to a Manhattan Supreme Court papers, which notes Bey's current address is unknown to Sorrell. Now, Bey was required to pay Sorrell's attorney fees in March of 2020 after the Brooklyn family court knocked his persistent refusal to pay child support. And this is what the records were showing. Now, Live Nation and a rep for Mos Def could not immediately be reached for comment, but listen, these baby mamas and people that felt that they are have been wronged, and you are in the public eye, baby, you might want to consider reimagining what your public eye appearance looks like, because some of these people are they're out for their money. And while I don't necessarily know all the story with this, as far as their relationship and all that good stuff, but baby, listen, you know who's losing in all this? This kid. Kid. If this is your child, this child is losing out, because you now have a bitter parent that is bitter with the other parent, who I'm sure is probably going to mute herself or not say anything, or at least not say anything positive about the other parent. And right. This is really showing this kid bad interpersonal, bad relationship skills, and hopefully some of their basic needs are being met or able to be met by the mom. So I don't know. At the end of the day, the person that's really losing out of all this is the child. So I hope they figure it out in some way, shape, or form.
I think some of the people who are on here who have children will say that parenting is hard, and I agree. That is why I do not have any. But I know that if I did, Desmond said, 7 kids, I'm pregnant by him. Oh. But here's my thing. It's either one or two things. First of all, I don't understand going on TV shows to prove the child is yours or not. If you have every right to get a DNA test, and if she doesn't want to do that, the next time you are with the baby, get a fucking cotton swab or a Q-tip, swab inside of that baby's cheek, and get a fucking DNA test. If the child isn't yours, you can be like,
right.
And then this sort of washes your... I don't understand why you keep going back and forth and going through court. So if the child is not yours, establish that and then move on with your life. Sorry for you. You know, I'm not going to call you a whore or anything, but I'm just going to say this is not my child, so I don't really know what to tell you. Go find the father of the child and keep it moving. But if it is your child, you know, and he's already been, you know, cited by the court for persistent refusal to pay child support, but then he feels, you know, he changed his name from Mos Def to Yaslin Bey, so he feels like one of these motherfuckers is going to be like, I take care of my kids, I see my kids 3 times a year. That is not taking care of your kids and not paying child support. So he's probably, and I'm sure he's very proud of having 7 kids, but you're not taking care of them, and you're not Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon is worth $150 million.
Okay.
So he can have 13 kids because he can afford to, at least, even if he can't take care of them emotionally, them kids are not wanting for anything physically.
Here's the thing. Even with 13 kids, if Nick Cannon literally put $1 million in a bank account for them and they left it alone and they didn't touch it until they got to be 18, those kids are taken care of.
Right. But you're not that. And, you know, my problem with adults is that we as adults, and it's not just parents, but we as adults make decisions without thinking. And then you're like, how did I end up in this mess? Because you couldn't stop fucking.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
So
speaking of babies, I want to send a heavenly birthday out to a very, very, very dear friend of mine, Stephanie Whiteley. Happy belated, or not happy belated, but happy birthday. She shares her birthday with the one and only the incomparable Prince
I
Roger.
thought you were going to say Prince. I was like, bitch, you know Prince and you ain't never tell us?
No. Prince Rogers Nelson as well, who would have been 65 today.
Wow.
So listen, happy birthday to the both of you. Yeah. So hopefully you are both laughing and joking together because I know Stevie, and I know Stevie was probably gonna be like, hey, little man, come on over here. I want to have a conversation with you. So, but anyway, but that's all I got for this week so far. It's like I said, it's been a busy week, but that's all we got. That's all I got. So
that's all I got.
TikToks. But so if that's all we got right now, what we can do is we can probably go into this beautiful bean footage right now. Take a look at that.
Hallelujah. And so in 3, 2. Well, all righty then. It's been a lovely evening. I'm about to go fix me some dinner and try not to choke on the smoke in the air and keep it moving.
It's I got some steak left over that I'm going to fuck up because it's I'm a little hungry.
Are you marching on Saturday?
I have a couple things that I want to do, and that is one of them. I just have to organize my day. But yes, my intention is to be there.
Okay.
I have to plan everything out before or after that. But yes, my intention is to be there.
Okay. Well, all right, kids. It's been lovely. So I will say, unless you have anything else to say. Thank you for coming out. God bless you. And good night. Bye.